Welcome back. You're watching the Jacksonville History Show, brought to you by the Jacksonville Historical Society and Comcast. I'm Harry Reagan. We're playing a little musical chairs tonight. Emily Lisska has moved over to the interviewee chair, and I'm going to be interviewing you.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about books that the Historical Society publishes, and let's pick the latest book up and show it.
Thrilled to do that.
It's the Jacksonville Family Album, 150 Years of the Art of Photography. Selling like hotcakes.
It really is. We're down to just a few hundred, if that, by the time this airs. And Harry, the Jacksonville Family Album is, everyone is saying, sensational. The most beautiful book ever published on Jacksonville. 432 pages of photographs of our city spanning 150 years. And these 432 pages include 574 photographs, and some of them pull out for 2- and 3-page panels. So this is just a work of art. I'm very proud of this publication by the Historical Society.
And it's the key people are
of course,
Dr. Wayne Wood, Carol Fader, and you.
Thank you.
And you and Carol play a key role in this. I mean, Wayne did a lot of work, but the other two people who worked very hard as well.
Well, thank you. We're very proud of the publication, and we're very proud the Jacksonville Historical Society is the publisher. That's a very big deal.
And that book will probably be reprinted, but don't wait. If you're interested in it, you should go ahead and buy one of the from the first printing.
It's wonderful. Yes.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about another book.
Love to.
I'll hand this one over to you, and you can talk about the architecture of Henry John Clouthier.
Well, of course, so many people know Henry Clouthier was the architect who came to Jacksonville weeks after the Great Fire, and with this wonderful clear canvas, he began to help build our city, design our city from the ground up, and it is very worthy of an entire book. What a wonderful story, and this is authored by Robert C. Broward, architect, known to so many people with a family history here that is lengthy. And so...
and Bob originally published this as a smaller book.
Yes, he did.
This is a much better book and updated with a lot of great photographs.
Just beautifully done, and in fact, Dr. Wood did the graphics for this, then the redesign, and it is a beautiful book. And this book, we would weekly get calls for it in its earlier, smaller state, so we decided what a great book to publish. So this was published in 2003. So Family Album just came out about 2.5 months ago. Now 2003, going backwards, Architecture of Henry John Clouthier.
Now publishing books, I'll put that back over here for you.
Sure, thank you.
Publishing books is is not something that the Historical Society has done for long. This is a fairly recent thing. We're publishing a book every couple of years.
That's right. Not for the faint of heart. It's a whole new experience. But you know what they say about history, when you publish history, oftentimes you publish what others will not. There's not a lot of money to be made in history publications, and that's not luckily that's not the Jacksonville Historical Society's mission. Our mission is saving history and preserving history, and of course the best way to do that is write it down, and of course get this book, and it's in all the libraries, or people can buy it, put it in their own home bookshelf.
It is hard work.
Oh,
you can think of a lot of other ways to make money. We make maybe a little bit of money out of publishing books.
When we're lucky, make a little, lose a little. That's right.
Well, speaking of reprinting books, here's a book that was reprinted.
It was.
It's a big seller still, The Great Fire of 1901.
Oh, what a sensational book. I mean, this was such a huge event in Jacksonville's history. Most historians would say the most important, single most important event in the city's history, although that is always arguable among historians and others. But The Great Fire, this is a book about that event, happened almost exactly 104 years ago, May 3rd, 1901, and this book chronicles that story of the largest metropolitan fire in U.S. Southern history. An amazing story, beautifully told, and one chapter alone just tells us from the perspective of individuals called Voices from the Flames, and individuals step up to the plate and they tell their story of the Great Fire.
In fact, the Historical Society reenacted some of those people at the Ritz Theater a couple of times.
That's right, and you were Chief Haney,
I was
weren't
Chief
you?
Haney, yeah, the fire chief. It was a lot of fun. But now that was Wayne Wood and Bill Foley, the late
That's
Bill
right,
Foley,
were the authors of this book.
Columnist at the Times-Union.
That's right.
And another excellent book. Now,
obviously, our 2001 publication, we did this on the centennial of the Great Fire.
So what do we do next, Emily?
Okay, next, we're tired. But just because we're tired doesn't mean we don't want excellence. And of course, our last book was heavily and was a pictorial. So what we thought we would do to get a little bit of a rest and do something the public is really demanding. You can see this poor little copy. This is the history of Jacksonville, Florida and vicinity by the consummate historian T. Frederick Davis. Obviously, he's no longer with us. This book was published in 1924, and it's the history of this area from the very beginning through 1924. Actually, it came out, I think, in 1925. So so we'd like to republish this, a lovely facsimile edition, a few improvements. You can't make too many improvements on T. Frederick Davis, though, because this is text heavy, but it's fabulous. The layout is so easy to follow, and this is what we plan to publish next.
Now, as we run out of time, a couple of other books to watch for.
Oh,
Ed
yes.
Miller, a book on the history of steamboats on the St. Johns and in this area.
First Coast Steamboat Days will be the publisher within 30 to 60 days. That book will come out.
And we're thinking about a history of Jacksonville neighborhoods.
Yes,
another
we are.
book that we might be working on. Emily Lisska, thank you for being with us, being the interviewee instead of the interviewer on the Jacksonville History Show.
Thank you, Harry.
And that's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching. The Jacksonville History Show is brought to you by the Jacksonville Historical Society and Comcast. We're here every Wednesday night at 8. For more information about the Historical Society, visit our website, jackshistory.com, or call 665-0064. So long, everyone.